Well, we are officially in the Christmas season here. It is December, and pretty sure everyone but Jonathan Quick on the LA Kings team is going to be getting coal in their stocking. Because, wow, they absolutely cannot score to save their lives. Jesse Cohn from Kings Podcast mentioned today that they are on pace for the 14th worst scoring since the expansion in 1967. Among every team that has played in every season since 1967, 14th worst. And that just doesn't sit well with me for a team that has people like Anze Kopitar. I can't even think at this point because so many of the Kings have been absent from the score sheet. I can't even think of who should be scoring. Tyler Toffoli, Jeff Carter. We're going to give a couple of them passes because they're on injured reserve. But what is going on this season? So the guy that we got for Pearson, who's doing fantastic, of course, in Pittsburgh, he's on injured reserve. That's out for about a month. Trevor Lewis just had surgery on his foot, so he is out for 4 to 5 more weeks. Kovalchuk had surgery on his foot. He's out for another 4 weeks. And that's just adding to the list of injuries the Kings have already had this season. So clearly something is off there, but something is off all around. Not just on the ice, I don't think, but it's certainly off on the ice. Something just is not working. We basically have one line that's doing everything. And it's not... Kopitar, Brown, and Iafallo just are not producing as much as they need to. Again, I'm going to bring up the Avalanche, not just because they're my second team, but because their first line has strung together over 140 points this season. 140 points between 3 players. So it's McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog. So while, yes, they have 3 other lines that are producing for their team, tonight's game, they did lose to Pittsburgh, but they still had other players contributing and they have that support from the rest of their team, but they still have one just outstanding line. And the Kings basically have none of that. They basically have 1 fourth line producing, and our other lines are so far behind fourth that I don't even know what number they are. So we did not get Jonathan Quick his second win of the season, despite him being pretty good, worthy of a win. Not fantastic Jedi saves, didn't really need to make them, but still, we should have done better for him. So the first period opens 15 seconds and there's a huge ping on the crossbar. I'm like, oh great, well this is clearly how this is going to go. This game is going to be great. Arizona has won 6 of their last 8 games at Staples Center. And during that time, that's 3 seasons? Arizona has not been good. So I don't know if they're our kryptonite or if we're just really that bad this season. But we managed to actually have some decent play in the first period. We had some very clean zone entries, but it was clear that when 3 of the 4 lines did that, none of them knew what to do when they got there. No one was being able to really get past the goalie, and I say that like the goalie was phenomenal. They were not putting quality shots on net. If they were putting any shots at all on net. So, yeah, we, 5 minutes into it, we had a penalty kill because Jonathan Quick, roughed up a guy. Dude, if you think that's roughing, you need to go ref for, baseball, because this is hockey, and the dude's head was still on, so I really don't know what your problem was. I'm kind of kidding about the head thing, but seriously, when you laugh and you're like, ah, that's so funny, and you shove someone like that? I'm pretty sure I've shoved people harder doing that than Jonathan Quick shoved this guy. And I have seen guys get bordered into the wall with tougher hits that are legal than Jonathan Quick just saying, get out of my way because I'm behind my net and I want to get back to it. So whatever on that penalty, the Kings managed to kill it, okay. Not super convincing, but considering their power play or penalty kill was of late, I'll take it. But the period was not going to go well for them. With about 3 minutes, left in the first period. They got a power play that did not go their way, even remotely. Arizona, coming into this game, has 10 shorthanded goals, which is the highest in the league. The next team coming up to that has 6. So they are incredibly good at the penalty kill. Their points numbers don't look that much better than the Kings, but the penalty kill is something that they are excelling at. They are at the top of the league, not just with shorthanded goals, but in the penalty kill percentage-wise. So maybe Phaneuf and Kempe, you don't lose the puck on your blue line and let them skate unabetted there through the neutral zone. And yeah, just a thought. So shorthanded goal to them with a couple of minutes left in the first, and it's really not the way you want to end the first period. Combined with Thompson boarding a guy so hard, actual boarding penalty call, that the guy couldn't get up for a couple of minutes and skate down to the bench, to the locker room there. So not the way you want to end the first period at all. They did manage to kill off that penalty to start the second period pretty well. And they actually got a bit of momentum right after that, but then about 2 or 3 minutes after that penalty, not even, because 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes after that penalty ended, Muzzin goes to the box when he tries to slash a guy from behind who's on the breakaway. Quickie had it. Quickie has been really solid. I don't know what he was thinking on that play. There were enough players around him that he wasn't going to be able to get a shot off that Quick couldn't handle. So he goes to the box, and they sure enough get their second of the game, 5 minutes and 56 seconds into the second. So 2-0. To be fair to Quick, he did not have his stick, and the way the shot went, it slid. It was a nice shot, great wrister, but had he had his stick, perhaps he could have prevented that. So he was very upset that his stick was taken from him on the play. But I don't really think there's anything you can kind of do about that. It happens, and it wasn't illegal, so it sucks. What are you gonna do? Keep playing and hope that your team can back you up. Turns out they couldn't. For the entire rest of the second period, it was just nothing. Nothing of note. There were no special plays. The Kings just aren't doing anything at all worthy of noting in a recap. It's incredibly depressing. There were a couple more special teams that, again, weren't anything special. And then we come to the third period, and it's just nothing is going. Nothing is happening here at all. There weren't even any, fights. It was super dull. Finally, something goes through. There's about 4 minutes left in the period. But Brown and Kopitar, who are, again, the only line that's really doing anything, get the puck to kind of the net and then kind of behind the net. And Martinez is there with the rebound and stuffs that in. And thank you, Alec Martinez. He has 3 points and potentially 3 goals, if I think about it, in the past 3 games. So again, our defensemen are stepping up, but where's everybody else? Quick is doing what he needs to do, and where are our forwards? So we get to about 1.5 minutes left, and at the 2-minute mark, I'm looking and thinking, all right, well, next time the puck gets down to our offensive zone, Quick is going to be out, and sure enough, they pull Quick. Couple of stops and starts. Kopitar actually makes a phenomenal play where it is this close to actually being in the net. And he swings in and he takes it away, and no empty net for them. And then we tie the game, and we're so excited for not even half a second, because as they're blowing the goal horn, they stop it before it can even. So if you look at the play, I'm very curious about this, because Dustin Brown did bat the puck with a high stick to keep it in play, but his actual shot is not from a high stick. It's from down here. So I don't know. I really thought the rule was if the puck goes off a high stick, then it's deemed no goal. And that I understand, but you see people, you see guys, bat it out of the air with their hand and then put it on the ice and do that. So I don't understand what the logic is behind this rule. Someone please explain it to me. Because it didn't seem right to me. But there's no use crying over spilt milk. The goal did not go. There was still kind of enough time, but it went back to center ice and it just wasn't happening. The Kings just absolutely cannot get a puck in the back of the net this season. I don't know what it is. I wish I did. I wish I had better things to recap. But this is just not the season for the Kings. We have 3 more home games coming up 2 more. We have a game against Vegas on Saturday I'm not looking forward to. So let's put a lot of rum in the eggnog.